Hey, what's up, my beautiful people? It's your boy Devo, so motivational, back with another day trading spy recap. Real quick, I want to say thank you all for all the likes, the comments, the subscribes. Thank you guys for all the views. We're racking up the views, especially on the shorts that I post. We're really racking up those views. Please try to watch those shorts. Please try to just run the channel up. I love every single one of y'all who with me on the journey. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And every day we are getting better. And I'm showing you guys. I'm literally showing you guys how to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I win every trade, but I'm showing you guys because as I go over these trades, I'm getting better. And I hope you guys can see that over all these trades, these consistent videos. I try to drop daily. I'm not gonna say I drop every single day, but most of the time I drop daily, okay? And so I hope you guys are seeing that through all these videos, how I get incrementally better with managing emotions, with managing my stop loss, with managing my trades. Future winners, y'all guys are gonna see how I let my winners run. So you guys are literally seeing the process. I just want to show you guys it is possible. You know what I'm saying? It is possible, and I'm just a normal person like you guys who's studying, who's going over the trades daily to make dreams come true, okay? And that is my whole goal, to give you guys knowledge, feed you guys, to make you guys money, show you guys that it's possible, and show you guys that, again, it's possible, okay? So I love every single one of y'all who with me on the journey, and let's get straight into it, okay? So today I'm gonna show you guys the data we have coming out today, as well as the news that we have coming out today, okay? So I'm gonna go over some news real quick that I don't have pulled up. Some news that we have that came out today is Ukraine actually, excuse me, people had a drone strike on Russia, aircrafts. I mean, like airplanes, airships, in Russia with a drone strike, destroyed like 4 of them, and so that could. I'm just going over that because that could potentially be bad because they're supposed to. Russia and Ukraine are supposed to have a ceasefire to stop the war, and Russia kept attacking Ukraine while Trump was trying to mitigate the ceasefire and trying to control them, and so they can put the end to the war, right? But Russia was still attacking Ukraine, and Trump said that Putin was playing with fire. Putin has already threatened about a World War III, and so it's looking like Ukraine is still going back and forth with them. And as you know, we have a deal with Ukraine with mineral deals, so we're closely connected with Ukraine. Trump is also supposed to be cool with Putin, said they were good friends, but is also calling him crazy and said that he's playing with fire. So I'm just going over that real quick because that can be, we never know. That could be some bad news a little bit in the future. You know what I'm saying? You never know because that war has been going on for a while. Trump is trying to put an end to it, and things can still escalate with that, okay? And so I just wanted to go over that real quick. And some other news, we're gonna go over the news and then I'll go over the data. So some other news that we have coming out today. So China, as we know, that Trump said that China violated their trade agreement, and China came out today and said that the U.S. violated their trade agreement. So what did he say? He said that is undermining the temporary that. Okay, so China said, sorry about that. China said today that Trump administration undermined the temporary May 12th trade agreement between the two nations by issuing AI chip export control guidelines, stopping the sale of chip design software to China, and by planning to revoke Chinese student visas. And then he said Trump's administration actions seriously undermine the existing consensus reached at the Geneva Economic and Trade Talks and seriously damage China's legitimate rights and interests. China's Commerce Ministry said in June 2nd statement, basically saying that the trade deals that they had worked out, remember, it was a temporary trade deal, but he's saying that that temporary trade deal was violated, and Trump said that China violated it. So basically, they're kind of just going back and forth, kind of arguing, and that could lead to more downside in the markets, okay? And we welcome that, right? Why do we welcome that? Because we're going to be buying when the market drops. We're not going to be panic selling our investments. We're going to be panic buying we're going to be buying more and more whenever it drops. Especially, I'm not going to show it again because I showed almost every video at them low levels how we're going to be buying at those levels, because we know a bull market will come. After all of this is all over, everybody comes cool heads. This will eventually pass, okay? This will eventually pass. And we will be in the bull market. Prices will be higher than we could like even think of right now. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why we're gonna be buying at them low lows so we can be enjoying our fruits during the bull market. Okay. And so basically, what Trump also said was that he planned on having a phone call with President Xi. I believe that phone call is supposed to happen today, and so that could be good news or bad news depending on what happens in that phone call. Okay, going into tomorrow. Okay, or if it happens a little later before the market closes, we can see what the market is going to do. Okay. So what data do we have coming out today? Some data that we had coming out today was, go to it. We had ISM manufacturing PMI, manufacturing employment, construction spending, ISM manufacturing new orders, ISM manufacturing prices, and all of our data came out fairly good. A couple of data not as good. Our manufacturing prices 69.4, consensus was 70.2, so prices are lower than expected. Manufacturing new orders 47.6, 47.2 were previous, so increase in orders. Construction spending month to month is negative 0.4, and the consensus was 0.3. So I mean that's better. It's better than previous, but it's still not as good as forecasted or expected. Manufacturing employment is 46.8, 46.5 is previous, so that's pretty good. Employment's still up. ISM manufacturing PMI 48.5, previous 48.7, and consensus was 49.5. So that didn't come in as good as expected. Okay, so a little bit of mix, some good data, some not so good. Okay, and so let's just get straight into the charts. Okay, and so today, what did I see? Well, first, today I didn't take a trade. Why didn't I take a trade? I didn't see a setup that I liked, okay? Coming into the day, I did see these equal highs right here that I did want to get taken out, but I wanted to see a trend start first. You know, as we see, the market pumped up to begin with in the market about 8:30. You know, started at 587, pumped up to 589, and after that dumped. That's why we want to wait a little bit after the market opens. We want to see the trend actually start. We don't want to just kind of see green candle and then just think it's gonna, you know what I'm saying, go up. You know, we want to kind of wait a little bit, because as we know, it tries to do a little bit of manipulation and stuff like that when the market first opens. And so that's what it did. It pumped up and then it dumped. Used the support. Why didn't I take a trade on the downside? Well, I wanted to see us retrace into this 5-minute fair value gap, right, before giving us the dump to the support. So when we were dumping and we took out this swing low, right, I wanted to see us create a 5-minute fair value gap and then retrace into the 5-minute fair value gap, and then I scaled to my 1-minute time frame, and I want to see price touch my 1-minute fair value gap inside my 5-minute fair value gap. You guys know how that works, okay? But what did we see? So when price was breaking down, this 5-minute candle already kind of retraced a little bit, right? And so when I go to my 1-minute, what do I see? Well, I see a good setup right here, because in my 1-minute, what did it do? It touched this last swing low, making this as resistance, but this wick right here is already part of my 5-minute candle. You see what I'm saying? So in the 5-minute, I wasn't able to get a retracement into there, because this one candle, so say if this candle was out of there, say if this candle didn't happen, right, there's no fair value gap, right? Not yet. We want to see this candle that already did occur, right? We want to see this. I hope you guys can see what I'm saying. I want to see this candle drop some more. I don't want to see this wick. I want to see it drop some more, and then the next candle retrace, right? But this candle already touched that swing, right? So you see what I'm saying? This 5-minute candle already basically touched into our 5-minute, 1-minute fair value gap we wanted to see touched, okay? But all hope is not lost, because when we already touched it with that wick, well, the next 5-minute candle we can see is maybe if it plays around right here, we want to see our next 5-minute. If it wants to, it can pull up and touch this gap right here, right? Because that's part of our 5-minute fair value gap as well. And then this is also a higher 1-minute fair value gap. As you know, when we're bearish, we want to see price retrace to our highest fair value gap. When we're bullish, we want to see price retrace to our lowest fair value gap, okay? Price didn't retrace into that one right there, and it dropped, breaking structure to the downside, creating a lower low, a lower high, and then another lower low, right? So we weren't able to get into that area, into that trend, because we didn't see our setup. We didn't see our pullbacks into our areas, right? And then so on the upside, when we started to the upside, I was like, okay, on the upside, I could take a trade because that could have been like a little bit of manipulation, and price could want to come up and take out these equal highs, right? Let me come back to my 5-minute to show you guys these equal highs. As you see, look, equal high, equal high, equal high, right? We know price loves liquidity, right? And we could potentially trace into there today, but I wouldn't be in the trade, and I don't even mind, right? Because I don't see my setup. I don't see my setup, and so I protect my capital and live to fight another day, right? It's still Monday. We still have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to take a trade, right? And so whenever we took out that last lower high, right, what did we create? We created a little fair value gap, right? So we created a little fair value gap, and this was actually a really good setup I wanted to see. Well, my good setup that is like kind of a really good one right here, right? So it created that fair value gap. Okay, I scaled down to my 1-minute time frame. Okay, we have this little gap right here. Also, we can make this this last lower high, and as we see this wick right here, making this like a little resistance right here, we can see this turn into an area of support. So it can pull down, test this fair value gap right here in our 5-minute, scaling down into our 1-minute, and then also using this last lower high as a little support. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you guys see what I'm saying? I hope you guys see what I'm saying right there. But what did we see? Price hasn't done that. It could be playing around, and maybe it could do that. And if it does that, what would I do? I would probably take a long position. I'll probably take a long position, put my stop loss at this last swing right here. I would be entering right around here, and I want to see price. I would probably honestly just aim for that one right there, but honestly, I want to see these highs get taken out. And that's a pretty big one, right? That's a 4-to-1. That'd be like our last Friday trade, right? So that would be a good setup. If we can see price do that retracement into this fair value gap, creating this last lower high as a support, that would be a good trade for us to take, okay? And we would potentially take it, okay? Depending on the time and stuff, because remember, I still got to go to work. So if it gets too late in the day, if it's maybe like 11:30, 12 o'clock, I don't like to take trades around that time anyways, okay? And so maybe if price does that a little soon, maybe I will, but maybe we just won't trade today, and I'll be completely fine with that, okay? And remember, we don't have to trade every day. The best traders in the world don't trade every day, and that is how you preserve your capital to live to fight another day so you can win trades, okay? And so that is pretty much why I didn't take a trade. I didn't see my retracement that I wanted, my pullback that I wanted, in the downtrend. And when we came up reverse trend, I haven't yet got my pullback to my area that I want. My 5-minute, scaling down to my 1-minute fair value gap. Excuse me, my good people. I haven't seen that pullback, and so I haven't been in a trade. So right now we're just sitting on our hands, protecting our capital. And if we see the setup, we'll potentially take the trade, right? Depending on what time it is, you know what I'm saying? We'll potentially take that trade. If we don't see the setup, we won't trade, okay? And so perfectly fine with that, okay? And so that's pretty much it. Okay, sorry, not pretty much it. I just lied to y'all. So let's go over, let me just show you guys the data that we have coming out tomorrow. So tomorrow can be a very volatile day. We could potentially have some big moves tomorrow, depending on what's going on in the market with Trump. If we talk to President Xi, and then we have some big data coming out tomorrow. What data do we have coming out? Jolt's job openings. We have Jolt's job openings tomorrow. We have factory orders, transportation, Jolt's job quits. I'm not sure what this is, but economic optimism index. That sounds pretty important. And so these things are going to be very important. Job opening, job quits, economic optimism index. So that is going to move the market. And so tomorrow can be a very volatile day. Okay, so we'll be ready for tomorrow, and that's why if we don't trade tomorrow, if we don't trade today, we have tomorrow. If we don't trade tomorrow, we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We know our setup is going to come sometime in the week. We know we're going to get some good trade setups in the week. So we just got to be patient and wait for those trade setups. Okay, that is pretty much it. Please, guys, if you guys haven't watched my live trades that I had last week on Thursday and Friday, please guys go watch them because those were some very good trades that we had. Kind of breaking down what I like to see in the market, how I get into the market, why I get into the market. So those are pretty much breaking down, and they're like what I'm looking for on these liquidities, these equal highs, these equal lows, these trade setups. I just kind of broke down how we had this reversal trade. And if you guys really don't understand any of that, you guys can go to like one of my first videos. It goes over market structure, and in the future I will be coming out with more videos like that. Please guys leave comments on what you guys want to see in these videos because I love doing these recaps. But please guys, comment down if you guys want to see some more in-depth knowledge. Of course, I will be dropping more of that, anyways, more in the future. But right now, I'm just kind of going over my trade recaps, daily and stuff. But more videos are to come. More content is more to come. More learning content to feed you guys. Okay, remember that is my whole goal: is to teach you guys, get better with you guys as I'm getting better. Get better with you as well. Show you guys how I mess up so you guys can avoid those mistakes. Show you guys how I win trades so you guys can learn from those trades. Again, how I lose trades so you guys can learn from those mistakes. And just overall, just grow with you guys. Okay, I just want to show you guys it's possible, and that anything in life you go after 100% it is possible to achieve. Okay, I love every single one of y'all who are with me on the journey. I will be back tomorrow showing up. Even if I don't trade, I'll be showing up with the data we have coming out tomorrow. I'll be showing up with the news we have coming tomorrow, as well as what I see in the markets. We will potentially have a trade, so you already know it will be it's the normal deal as always. I'll be showing up just with everything about the markets, the data, the news, and what we have coming into the day. Okay, I love every single one of y'all with me on the journey. This video isn't too long. I've been trying to keep them fairly short for you guys. I don't want to have a whole hour video. I know a lot of my videos used to be like a whole hour long, but I just try to get out as much knowledge and news on the market and what I'm seeing and stuff to you guys. Okay, I love every single one of y'all with me on the journey. Remember, guys, stay persistent, passionate. Make sure I get paid. All right, peace.